Okay then, 17 drivers today, and cool guys here. I recognise you, big man. Anyway, we are now going to go to the Shanghai Grand Prix, located in China. Hopefully this is going to be a very good race, and no dirty driving will be involved, no over-the-top crashes. We have a full qualifying, 17 drivers. As it stands, there's going to be 2 drivers that will be knocked out in Q1, 5 in Q2, and then the top 10 shootout for Q3. So we wait for what's going to happen till we ready up, obviously. It was the first race it hosted in Formula One. It was in 2004, a 5.4 kilometer track, with the lap record, and with the last results being pole position for Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes, and the podium was first Lewis Hamilton, second Bottas, third Vettel, and the fastest lap was Pierre Gasly. History-wise, obviously, the COVID-19 really stopped the Chinese Grand Prix from being in 2021, last year, and now also this year. There was all the fact that it's just hopefully it will come back to calendar soon, because I really liked the racing here, and so far this is looking like a very close championship, as you've probably seen before. So yeah, let's just get straight into it, and I'm confident. Just waiting on 2 drivers. We also have 2 drivers with a quali ban. So we just wait for the Haas, and then we also wait for the Alpine of Monic and Lewis. I think Monic has joined, so we just wait for Lewis, I believe. So let's just get into it. Hopefully we're gonna have a great race. Great qualifying is definitely going to be coming up, and out of these lot, I only know 1 driver, and I don't know. I literally just going to check the championship to see where all the results are and such. What's going on? Anyway, so race results wise, it has been Brad really dominating and getting 2 championships, and has been getting top 2, at least a top 2 in the getting 4 top 2s in the last 5 races. So he's looking like the real main man to win. But I don't know if he's in, because so Brad, is it an Alfa Romeo? It is. So let's see, is it both Alfa Romeos in? I believe it's Alfie Hudson. I'm not sure though. We're missing an Aston Martin and an Alpha Tauri, and then also, oh no, definitely not, and then Mercedes. We just wait. We just have to keep on waiting. $5 late. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we're starting. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So we're about to get underway for qualifying here in China. We are ready to kick off. Come on. This is the first time I've commentated for the Chinese Grand Prix, I think, or the second time. I really miss this track. I literally have to go on F1 2019 to literally race on this track. I mean, F1 2020, I have it, but F1 2019 is just, for some reason, for me, I've got a better save on it. F1 2020, I barely did anything on it, so. Same with 2021. But we don't care about that. We don't care about that. We've got a race to commentate. Let's go. So we just wait for a couple people to select their tyres, what compounds they're going to be selecting through this qualifying and race. And what is there to expect? And looking at the statistics wise, I am going to say Brad is going to get P1 here at qualifying, maybe even in the race as well. And that weather does not look pleasant at all. It really does not. That does not look pleasant at all. It's extremely cloudy by the looks, and we just wait for the first person to go out on track. We already hear a car revving up their engines. We just wait to see who it is. There it is. It's an Aston Martin, I believe. I think that was Aston Martin. No, it was a Williams of oh my god. Of Skustuvas. I believe that's Dom. And making his way through the round. And there's an Alpine also out on track, and that's Ollie. And then there's also a Mercedes of Hennessy making his way out of the pits. Now, I don't know what laps are expected here. I've not seen the drivers. There's more drivers going out. It's the Williams of Verova. McLaren goes out. I believe it is Curtis Jones. It's the Curtis Jones, guys. He plays for Liverpool. Marco's out on track as well. And I'm sadly alone in the commentary box. So we don't know what to expect. And also I'm alone because the other person sadly had to back out at the last second. Which is a shame. But hey, it happens, it happens. And Curtis Jones is the first person to settle up will be Skustuvas, making his way down the long back straight and going to hit the going into the hairpin. Hopefully well. Making his way into the next corners. And he is going to be the first driver to start a lap. Around the final corner he goes. Don't go too wide. And there we go. His lap has kicked off for his first run at the Chinese Grand Prix. He's definitely done some more testing in time trials, but this is his first proper stint in the actual racing league here in BP Racing League. As they make their way through as he makes his way through the spiral down the straight, going to end his sector 1. We obviously know it's going to be purple because he's going to be the first person to set the lap, and it's going to be a 25.0. Ollie behind him. Is he going to go quicker? He doesn't. As Skustuvas makes his way through the S, and then he's going to have to brake here a little, hit the apex maybe, as he makes his way down the straight, and then for the long right-hander. Well, it starts as a left and then the long right-hander. So 53 point... I'm not going to say that. And then let's see what Ollie's going to get, because that's the only two... That's the first two, so... And he goes slower again by 3/10 this time. Down the back straight, the ERS flap open. You have to put all the ERS power and DRS power into this straight, because that's where you can probably gain the most speed, especially straight line speed, as Skustuvas locks up going to the hairpin. He's going to go into the final corner. DRS detection zone has been crossed. And now, down the straight, what's going to be the lap to set? A 1:34.6. And then, next up is Ollie, as he makes his way through the hairpin with the Ferrari of Lassie behind him. Ollie is going to cross the line. 1:39.6. I don't believe that's a proper lap. Maybe something happened along the way. Verona, I don't think he's on a lap. I think it's the glitch where apparently he's on a lap, but I'm not sure. Makes his way through the final corner. It looks proper. He's going to cross the line. And they're going to set 1:35.7, going a second behind. What about the drivers behind him? Marco, ever so slightly, just pips to second. And Curtis Jones goes fastest by 23 thousandths of the second. And then Alfie Hudson's going to start his lap, or Brad, I think. I don't know. Making his way down the straight. And there's the McLaren of OJB behind him. And then it's the Mercedes of Hennessy. Hennessy's going to go P6. It's not a proper lap. Hopefully he can bounce back in the second. Mormonic, with an invalidated lap time, he's probably going to start his proper one now. Doesn't have any damage, so he's good to go. No, he's diving into the pit lane. There's another Williams approaching, and that's, I believe, Skutsvas. It is, and he is going to dive into the pit lane with... Verona is going to let a couple drivers by, and there's a Ferrari about to cross the line. It's Lassie, I believe. As he has already started his lap and going around the final corner. It's looking fast, beautiful apex, keeps it on the circuit. He's going to cross the line, goes fastest by 0.5 of a second. That's a very great lap. And there's a Red Bull who's just started his lap. I believe it's Oompa or Hidlex, I'm not sure. Hidlex has also been good in the Red Bull, as I've been looking on the race results. And there's more yellow flags. There's obviously for letting drivers by. And it is Oompa making his way into the final corner. And again, the final corner doesn't look too fast. So it's probably going to be 4th or 5th. He goes 6th, actually, with a 1:34.7. And there's more yellow flags down the straight. And is Hennessy going to finally set that lap? Or is he going to go into the pits? No, he's going to set the lap. It looks quick. Down the straight, he's going to cross the line. And it's going to be 1:33.6. We are diving into the 1:33s here. And now it's nearly 0.4 clear on Lassie. McLaren of Curtis Jones is going to start. I think this is his in lap. Or is this first lap? Going into the first corners, which is an absolute spiral. He's gonna have to keep close to the curb so he doesn't spin doesn't go wide, doesn't lose that much time. As he's gonna make his way into sector 1, and it's slower. It's 54,000 slower. It's still quicker than what we saw from Skutsvas in his first lap, as the Mercedes of Hennessy lets him through. And Hidlegs goes fastest by 0.3 of a second. And now these drivers really have to get some focusing to do, as Hidlegs has put in my opinion, a monster lap. A 1:33.3. I've not even seen that before, I don't think. And there's more yellow flags of probably drivers named through. Curtis Jones going slowly. OJB 0.2 down on his lap. And he spun round and hits the wall. His end plates come off. As you can clearly see there, the McLaren end plate just sitting on the grass. And Lerzi is going to start his lap in the Aston Martin. The only Aston Martin today. And as he makes his way into the S section, it's looking good. All I know is it's a 10th down on Skutsvas. So he's getting maybe 5th or under with that sector 1, basing it off of that. And it's also, I believe that's slower. I can't really see the sectors. It's kind of, if only they're what they have on F1 with the little block thingies. And anyway, as he makes his way down the long back straight, there's an Alfa Romeo of Alfie Hudson, as he's going to speed his way down the straight. He's going to cross the line, go 10th fastest. And then there's the Red Bull of Hidlex, who's going to go into the pit lane. So that means next is the Aston Martin of Lazy. Hits the apex on the final corner. He's going to power it down the street. It's looking like a 135. It's a 135.7. Goes 9th fastest. And it's looking like he is safe at the moment. And there's a Mercedes who crosses the line of Lewis to start his lap into turn 1. And let's go on board with the driver. And he's just keeping it still, keeping that car still. And there's a retirement in the pit lane from the Haas. I don't know why he'd retire now, because everyone can still improve, in my opinion. Going down the straight, going to go into the S section, and Skultvas is also retiring in the pit lane. And there's a yellow flag, and that's Marco. Probably spun round. Doesn't look like any damage. But who's next to cross the line? Is it Monomonic? Yes, it is. He goes wide, but does not get invalidated. He's going to cross the line, goes 12th. The Alfa Romeo behind him crosses the line, goes 3rd. Great lap from Shach. I can't pronounce that, I'm very sorry. From Y2. And then his teammate, Alfie Hudson, is going to go into the pit lane. So, Lazy, is he on a lap? Definitely not. And now everyone's at a slow point. Lewis with an invalidated lap time. Marco, who spun earlier, don't forget that. All of these drivers are probably going to go into the pits to crack the code on getting speed and dive into the 133s. Like Y2, like Hennessy, like Hidlex, and I think like Lassie. I'm not sure. No, Lassie did not. So the top 3 have all gone into 133s. Can anyone else get into the 133 soon? Marco is going to start his lap. I think this is going to be his proper one this time, as he makes his way into turn 1. Is looking very good, and that was Alfie Romeo going P5, which makes him just ever so slightly behind Lassie, and then making his way into the hairpin. He's 27 thousandths down. And as he makes his way into the S section, he's going to have to brake early, and he's going to try, and now going to get as much power down the straight as he wants. Marco's going to cross the sector 2. He's still going slower. There's something with the AlphaTauri or with the tyres that is just not feeling right, and is dropping his pace a bit as he makes his way down the back straight. F1 Lewis makes his way into the final corner. He's going to cross the line for the first time. He's going to cross the line and going to get 5th fastest, pushing down road 9 to 6th, and we're going to have our first proper laps in the being knocked out. As it stands, it's the 2 not proper laps, and then Cool Guy and Bowman and Skultvas may be regretting that retirement, because they're starting to look a bit. The pace is starting to start to go up and up, and now it's not looking good for them, as now drivers are starting to pick up the second win and start to put in laps they've not really put in before. Like, for example, Umpa, who crosses the line, goes 8th fastest, which puts the 2 drivers even further down. And the next driver to cross the line is Cool Guy, as he makes his way around, going into the... What is going on with my voice? Going into the back straight. He's going really fast. DRS flap open now. No. He is confident to do... Why is he slowing down? something happened with the pace, and he probably noticed it. He's gone neutral. Why has he gone neutral? He was on a lap. Hidlex has retired. This time for obvious reasons, as he is at the top. He's probably not going to go down. And the driver that was like 19 seconds down, I've now don't know who it was, but he has got his way out of that bad lap. And now Cool Guy's hopefully starting his now proper lap as he makes his way into turn 1. And then into turn 2, and then into turn 3. It's this common consensus with this corner. And as he makes his way down the straight, he's going to rocket it. And hopefully it's a good sector 1. It is a good sector 1. No, he's slower than his provisional lap time that he had earlier. Because I think he only slowed down at the back straight. Maybe some issues with the DRS. I don't know. I don't know if this person is on the steering wheel. It looks like he is. The way he's holding the steering wheel, the way it's turning, it looks like if he's on a steering wheel, to be honest. Anyway, as Coolguy makes his way, and there's someone who's joined. R11, I just noticed that. It's the AlphaTauri. So now there's only one driver who's alone in his team. So I feel bad for them. And now drivers are starting to retire. That's a bit of a risky move. But we'll see, we'll see. Cool Guy makes his way into the final corner. It's looking like a stunning lap. Crosses the line. Is the 4th driver to go into the 133s and goes 4th fastest. Cool Guy is on a roll here. And there's an Alfa Romeo of Alfie Hudson. Let's go on. For some reason, this broadcast cam is giving him the ring camera. But anyway, he's going to cross the line. Is he going to go faster? He is going to go faster. Up to 14th place, which saves him from the knockout spot, but still in danger. Currently, the driver in danger is the only driver that is alone in his team, and that is Lazy. And Lewis has now retired in the pit lane. Again, risky, but maybe it'll turn out. Drivers are still sitting in the pit lane as Q1 comes to a close, and Lazy is going out of Q1. He is out of Q1, the Aston Martin, as he risked it, stuck himself in the pit, and is now out. Because when he gets out, he's just going to finish his outlap. And Monic and Ollie, however, and then Verova may have gotten himself out of the kind of knockout spots, but he's still in danger with that lap time that he has, which is a 1:35.4. So he needs to get that crucial benefit, as 30 seconds is left on the clock. And now there's yellow flag, and that's a Haas of Monic. And he's now probably also out of qualifying. And Ollie, let's see, can he get a better qualifying lap this time? As he makes his way into the hairpin, he's going to push everything. He locks up. That's how much he's pushing. He's going to go down this small little straight before the main one, and it's over. Around the final corner, what is Ollie going to set? Is he getting out? Yes, he is with P13. What a great... I mean, it is a great lap, but amongst these guys, it's an okay lap. It's a decent lap. And the risks that Curtis Jones, Skulslas, and Bowman took worked, as now they are through without a doubt. Now Verova, his lap is ruined. He's out as well. We already know who's out. It's Verova, Lazy, Monic, as we already saw him spin. But we also have Audioglas, as he makes his way into the S, leaves the S, he's going to make his way into the down the small straight. I swear he used to have a DRS on it, but anyway, going into Anting corner. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I just look at the grandstand, but he's gonna circle around that spiral, and he's gonna speed down the straight. Hopefully, he can get out, and he's the only man still out on track. He is absolutely pushing. Hopefully he doesn't lock up like the others. Goes into the corner, and it's looking good. It's looking good. Oh, he loses his rear though. That could be costly, and I don't think. Yeah, I think he's out. Looking at the lap time, I think he's out. It's going to be a 1:37.3, which makes him out of Q1. So, these 15 drivers are going to now fight it out for Q2. Who's going to get that maiden Q3, and then who's going to get pole after that? And now, scrolling down, let's see the 4 drivers who sadly have been knocked out. Verova, Laziri, Monic, and Oriaglas. So Hidlex with the best lap so far. Can he improve into Q2? Here we go, drivers are going out already for Q2, and the first driver that's going to be out on circuit is Alfie Road Knight. So he's going to have the privilege to be the first man out, and let's not look at the tyres anymore, because it's a bit obvious what it's going to be. It's obviously going to be the soft tyres, unless someone puts it on first with mediums. And now look how busy the track is looking, especially in the first 5 corners. I mean, obviously, because all of these drivers went out at once. So, there's only a couple drivers in the pits. Marco, Cool Guy, Skustavas, Ollie, and Y2. And Alfie is going to make his way down the straight. There's 2 Alfies here, Alfie Road 9, Alfie Hudson. Pretty cool. Anyway, into Anting, and the Alpine is looking to set something for himself. And Skustavas is going to make his way out of the pits, and I now know that that's Dom. So, yeah. As Alfie Road 9 makes his way into the hairpin to be the first person to set a lap in this Grand Prix. And also the Ferrari of Cool Guy. And there's a 5-place grid penalty for Hennessy with a collision with OJB. I don't know what happened there. Going neutral to get ARS back, by the way. Okay, copy that. Alfie Road Knight is going to make his way into turn 3, and he's got 2 Red Bulls stinging behind him, and obviously to purple sector 1, and whoever's behind him, which is Lussie, who actually goes slower by 1/10, going into now the S, and then this kind of weird section that cuts in and then cuts out with another straight. There's loads of straights on this circuit. And anyway, it's obviously a purple sector too because it's the first person to their lap, and it's 4/10 slower than Lassie's gone 4/10 slower than Alfie. And down the straight, DRS flap open, obviously. And there's a yellow flag in sector 2. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. That's just Mercedes of, I believe, Hennessy letting them by. And Alfie Romeo is going to set the baseline time of this qualifying session, which is a 1:33.7. Lassie, what can you set? A 1:34.3. Still okay, not as bad. Hidlex goes second by 32 thousandths of a second. That's a quality lap, and very challenging to the other two. Road Knight, who's currently ahead of him by ever so slightly. Turbo goes fourth, 1.2 behind Alfie Road Knight. The Mercedes, both Mercedes, Hennessy goes P3, and Lewis with an improper lap, and Oompa goes fastest on the soft tyres, obviously. Now 2.5 tenths clear on Alfie Road Knight. Curtis Jones goes fourth fastest, and Alfie Hudson goes 8th. Who's next? Skustova? Yes, it is. Skustova is going to make his way through the final corners and then into the final left. And there's drivers laying through left, right, and centre. But anyway, Skustova crosses the line, goes 6th fastest, 7 tenths behind the driver currently in P1, which is obviously Umpa 225. And it's Ollie, no, not Ollie, Alfie Road Knight, who is, I'm suggesting, probably going to the pits. Yes, he is going into the pits. Is Lassie going into the pits? And then Cool Guy is going to circle around the final corner. He's going to have to get as much speed as possible down that final corner. He's going to cross the line, goes 8th fastest, 3 tenths behind his teammate, who is in 7th. So there's an obvious gap here. There's an obvious separation, and what's happening here? I mean, I know, is that Hudson behind? No, it's not. It is Shazad, and they're all going to they're all warming up for their laps, as Hennessy will be oh no, they go into the pits. Anyway, let's look at Y2's lap here. Going down the straight, he's gonna go into turn 1, full sweat try-hard mode, and there's a yellow flag of Alfie, who I believe has stopped on track. No, never mind, he started moving. There's a yellow flag, Alpha Tauri going slowly. Don't know why when there's nobody behind you. And the Alfa Romeo stopped again, and it's purple sector 1, I believe, actually, for Y2, going down into turn 5, going into the S now. He's going to try everything he can. And I believe the Alfa Romeo stopped, which has stopped a Mercedes of what I believe is Lewis. And now Lewis was forced to overtake as Hennessy's actually in the pits. So yes, it was Lewis. Purple sector 2 according to the track map system, as Y2 circles around the final corner, and there's his teammate again going slowly. Is he trying to give the toe? He is trying to give the toe to Y2. That's a very great strategy call from Alfie Hudson, and he lets him through. He's given the toe enough into the hairpin. He's gonna circle. He's gonna spin. He's gonna streamline down the straight into the final corner. It's looking fast. Obviously, from the pace he got given by his teammate, crosses the line, goes second fastest. Only second fastest. That's a bit unlucky there OJB though, speeding it down the back straight, on board with the McLaren. Obviously DRS flap open, and the ERS is around 20 something percent as I'm looking at that steering wheel, and as he makes his way down the straight, and now he's going to go full power into the final corner. Lussey's also going to cross the line. Does he improve? He crosses the line. No, he doesn't. OJB crosses the line. Invalidates at the last minute. Marco, however, crosses the line, goes and finishes, not finishes, but goes 7th. And next up is the Red Bull of Hidlex. I don't know if he's going slowly or not. He is. Oh, it's an outlap probably. Looking at the ERS, it's definitely an outlap. This game is as usual with its glitches. But anyway, Hidlex starts his lap with a 133.821 to beat a 133.542 to go first here in Q2. 6 minutes left on the clock. And now it's all the time he needs to save so he can get one more quali run maybe. He will set this lap, he'll probably dive into the pits, get a new set, and immediately go back out. And it's purple sector 1, 2/10 quicker than what he was. He is obviously gaining time. He is not fast enough to beat Oompa though, as it looks like on the Delta pace. 251, he needs to get 278, 279 or quicker. So he's probably going to be ever so slightly behind him. So, like a Red Bull 1-2, but not for the race. It's only for Q2. But going down the straight, and it's purple sector 2, 6/10 quicker. And it's probably going to be first place by 4/10. And Lassie goes fastest with a 133.3. And Hidlex is going to power it down the straight. DRS flap open, of course. And now, why is the broadcast cam like that? Can you please change? Anyway, Hidlex makes his way into the final corners and then into the actual final corner. And we have another driver joining. We have 20 out of 20. But anyway, Hidlex is going to cross the line and go first by 7/10. The first 132 of the qualifying session. And what a lap that is. We just have to wait for OJB to set the next lap. As you can see, he has already used up his ERS. So, it's all just wait. And then next is Ollie, which, again, a 3.3 down, the slowest out of the bunch who actually have set a lap. And around the hairpin, and then he's going to dash into the final corner to go into the pits. Okay. But there's a driver behind him who actually went into the pits, didn't go into pits, and there's Gustivas who goes a 10th slower. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. And the Mercedes behind him starts his lap. And there's the Ferrari. I believe he's going into the pits. No, he's not. Cool guy is going to start his lap. As he is currently 11th. Lewis is currently in danger. And then starting his lap, he needs to make this sharp and perfect to get his way into Q3 and join his teammate Lassie in the mix. He's probably feeling it. Hidlex is probably going to dive into the pits. Same with I believe that's Hennessy. Let me check. Yeah, it is Hennessy. Anyway, back on Cool Guy. He makes his way into the S section. And he's keeping it sharp. He's keeping it close. Doesn't go wide. Doesn't make any mistakes. Going now into the next couple of corners before the small straight, the long right-hander, and then the long back straight. Loads of straights, loads of right-handers. And it's purple sector 2, 8/10 quicker. And as it stands, he would be putting his car at least top 5, maybe top 6. Anyway, down now the back straight. He is going to get all the power that he wants to put. He's going to hit that accelerator. He's going to be pushing down on that accelerator as much as he can. Going into the final hairpin. and the Alfa Romeo lets him through. The McLaren let him through just earlier. And then down the final small straight into the final corner. What lap is it going to be? It's looking quick. It's going to be quick. He goes P3, beating his teammates and was 2/10 off P1. And Lewis actually went second. Oh yeah, because Hidlex beat him. Anyway, any drivers? No, I don't think so. Alfie Road Knight, is he improving? Is he on a proper lap? No, it's an out lap. For God's sake, why does this game always have to glitch like that? Hennessy behind him, 9/10 up on his third sector. Going into the next corner, this is again looking like top 5. Going now, especially into the final corner. And now he's going to power it down the straight. He's going to cross the line. Goes fastest by 16,000 a second. What a lap. A huge lap as well. And Hennessy spun round. Probably in excitement. Anyway, and there's Lewis retiring for obvious reasons. Same with Mercedes. And Marco has also started a lap 4/10 quicker. So currently Bowman is in danger, but as it stands, is he really in danger? Is he really in danger? Because he's pretty much 3/10 clear of Curtis Jones. And OJB's out. Same with Gustavus. And now Bowman, is he going to get beaten by Curtis Jones? Is he going to get beaten by the Liverpool player? Don't know, maybe. Anyway, into the next couple of corners, only nearly 2/10 quicker. So he's still not beating Bowman, but he needs to get quicker. Because if he wants to get to Q3, going to be the main man in McLaren for now, for this qualifying session, he needs to get all he can do to make his way out of Q3, make his way into Q3. And it's just going to be amazing. And Ollie goes 13th fastest, so we already know 4 drivers that are out. Is there a 5th? And it's Bowman by 15 thousandths of a second. And finally Marco, who isn't on a proper lap. It doesn't matter. He's safe anyway. Just cross the line. Don't go into the pits. Oh, for crying out loud. Please retire. I mean, but like, so it doesn't waste that much time. Oh, great. Four people watching. Damn, that's a lot. Marco. There we go. It's all over. And as you can see here, this person is across my wrist. So we know the 10 drivers that are going through. Bowman by 14 thousandths of a second, actually. No, 15. Yeah, 15. Hennessy with a 5-place grid penalty. Whatever he's gonna get, he's gonna have to obviously be. I mean, that's obvious. Anyway, let's look at the drivers that are out. OJB, who is starting last. He also has a 5-place grid penalty. He is starting last. And that is not very good from the McLaren. Alfa Romeo of Alfie Hudson, Ollie, Skustavas, and Bowman, who, again, 50 thousandths of a second. Shocking. Still got Q3, and the race will kick off somewhere around just before 8. Or at 8, exactly. So Q3 is about to get underway. And now everyone's going to go out. There's Mercedes of Lewis going out, Hennessy going out, McLaren of Curtis Jones going out. Both Mercedes are out on track. There's only 3 teams with both of their drivers into Q3. Anyway, so everyone's currently out on outlaps. And the main guy to focus on is Cool Guy, as he is going to be the first. Moreover, just so you want proof, jestem z Polski. Jestem. Możesz zobaczyć później, bo raczej będę gadał tak. Alright, anyway. Shift off of that. So, anyway. Down the straight, and Cool Guy will now start his lap. He's going to kick off, probably hoping to get provisional pole position. 9 minutes and 45 seconds left, and it's actually not that long. And there's only 2 drivers still in the pits, Marco and Y2. It's definitely strategic, and let's see what they can do from there. And it's actually Y2 going out on track, and obviously Cool Guy with the fastest purple sector 1. And as he makes his way, sorry, Cool Guy is already where he was. Literally felt like it was there like 20 seconds ago. Anyway, down the little mini straight, and it's got invalidated. He goes wide at the exit. So next, I believe, is Hennessy. He doesn't invalidate, unlike Cool Guy does, and he's gonna power his way down the straight. Hennessy down the final straight, and what can he pull off? It's neck and neck between. It's probably going to be neck and neck for pole position, and let's see how it goes. The first person to cross the line is going to go around the hairpin. He's going to dive into the final corner, and Lewis is the only person now in the pits. But anyway, Hennessy is going to cross the line. It's going to be a 1:32.7. Great lap. Alfie Road Knight behind him goes second fastest with a 1:33.8. Yeah. So. Anyway. Down the next couple of corners, Lassie goes P2. McLaren of Curtis Jones goes P4. Not a proper lap though. Cool Guy is going to start this time, hopefully his proper lap. And AlphaTauri of Marco going slowly down the straight, hopefully starting to warm up for his proper run in the AlphaTauri. What can he pull off? The Red Bull, I believe, of Hidlex is going to power it down the back straight and is absolutely, he's just trying his hardest and he's speeding it into the hairpin, and now he's going to cross line. Hopefully he gets a good lap. Best of luck to him. He's going to cross the line. He's going to go into the final corner. It's also looking fast. It's a 1:30, 3.1, 3/10 behind Hennessy. And as it stands, Hennessy starting P6, P5. Who's next across the line? There's a bit of mix-up here. What's going on here? Anyway, because there's an Alfa Romeo of Y2 who needs to get some clean air. But anyway, going into the final corner, and Y2 is going to cross line to 1:30, 3.3 going full fastest, and that's a great lap. And there's McLaren going to the pits, Ferrari going to the pits. Marco, however, he is not going into the pits. He won't be, because he's currently on a lap. Pretty obvious, I know. But anyway, down the final hairpin, and he's going to go into the final corner. What can he pull off? He's going to cross the line. It's going to be a 1:30, 3.8 going P5. Interesting lap. Maybe can obviously be better. And Hidlex obviously going to go into the pits now. I think, yeah, it's a bit obvious. Anyway, who's next? It's the Red Bull of Oompa, who actually sets purple sector 2. He's going to make his way down the back straight. I do not want to see the rear end broadcast cam. Anyway, on board here with Oompa down the back straight, and he's going to pressure. He's going to give pressure going into the, probably Hennessy and his teammate, going into the hairpin. And then into the final corner. We've got just under 5 minutes left. Oompa is going to cross the line and goes 5th fastest with a 1:33.6. And Y2 is going to go into the pits, and obviously Marco is going to go into the pits. I don't know if Oompa wants to set another lap. Probably, maybe. Just a maybe though. So we've got a bit of time of silence, meditation, guys. Meditation. Everyone going to the pit lane. It's just Oompa is the only driver out on track who invalidated his lap. So we just have a chance of quiet, and then someone immediately goes out on track. I swear to God. And Oompa's obviously going to dive into the pits, so we will be obviously seeing the DHL sign as per. guys. I just had to talk to someone. Anyway, so cool guy. Loads of drivers now going out, as obviously 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You should be going out now, especially Lewis. He's staying in the pits. Lewis, why are you staying in the pits? Lewis, why are you staying in the pits? Do you just want P10? I think he just wants P10, I guess. Or he's just going to cut corners. Marco retired in the pit lane. So now, everyone's on an outlap. Except for Lewis. But we don't talk about that. But anyway. Hennessy is... No, it's actually going to be Cool Guy. Going to be the first person to set a lap. He's weaving, ready to set the lap. And he's hopefully wanting a good one. Into the final corner. He's going to cross the line. And go. Oh wait, no, it's an outlap. So now we can... oh, for God's sake. I'm so dumb. I really am. Anyway. Into the first couple of corners. Obviously, the snail, like... It's like the... You know when you have the snail shell, that. Anyway. The spiral. Now I remembered what it was called. Anyway, purple sector 1, is it going to be? Yes, it is. Now, hopefully this time it doesn't get invalidated. Unlike the first time. Anyway, into the S. And Lewis is retired from the session. What's the need for that? And we are 10 seconds away from the end of Q3, and Cool Guy is obviously invalidated. And it's P9 for Cool Guy, and he's also spun. Next is Hennessy, and as it stands, he's starting P6 because of the grid penalties. And now going into now the final back straight. This is going to be the last time he's going to be taking a qualifying lap around this track of this season. And his final qualifying lap at China is going to be, makes his way round the hairpin. And then into the final corner, is looking extremely fast. What's going to be his last lap around the Chinese Grand Prix? A 132.3, 5/10 quicker, and Alfie goes second fastest. Next up is Y2. What can he do? I'm joking. Anyway, Y2 crosses the line, goes second. Hidlex crosses the line, goes first with a 132.1, nearly dipping into the 131s. Curtis Jones doesn't improve his position. Cool Guy dives into the pits, and Oompa makes his way round the final corner, and it's going to be staying P6. And that's well done to Hidlex, and that means Hennessy will be starting 7th, not 6th. Unlucky. I am back. And again, the weather does not look good. Why is there just 3? Okay, we're away from that. Anyway, 5 red lights, and it's Hidlex and Y2 on the front row, first and second, and 28 laps of the Chinese Grand Prix was about to get underway here, probably 40 minutes or more. And as we go through, let's go through the grid. Hidlex is on pole with a lap which was a tenth quicker than Hennessy, tenth and a half to be precise, and 0.163 to be even more. And Y2 is in second, thanks to Hennessy's 5th place grid penalty. He has dropped down to 7th, so Y2 second to 6th were all 3rd to 7th, and that's the obvious thing. And now here in the formation lap, let's just go through a quick rundown of the grid. So P1, Hidlex, P2, Y2, P3, Lussie, P4, Alfie, P5, Oompa, 6th, Marco, 7th, Hennessy, 8th, Curtis, 9th, Cool Guy, 10th, Lewis, 11th, Bowman, 12th, Skustavas, 13th, Ollie, 14th, Alfie Hudson, 15th, Verova, 16th, Ledizi, 17th, Mormonik, 18th, Oriegulas, 19th, OJB. He got a 5-place grid penalty, but I think the Aston Martin joined later, so that's why he's 19th. And Dark Glovey is in last place, and that grid is so spread out. Why? I think everyone wants a good start, guys. I think everyone wants to start off the bat with fresh tyres and fresh warm tyres. Anyway, so we're going to get 5 red lights, and Y2 has probably misplaced his grid positioning. And there's a spin, which I believe is Lewis. And now, look at... oh my goodness! So to start things off, we have to do all of this. We don't need that. As in real F1, they don't show the grid first. You've already seen the grid. I've already told you the grid. So you already know what is what. And here we go. 5 red lights about to flash on. And it's on. And it's lights out. And away we go. It's a great start for the Alfa Romeo of Y2. Going down into turn 1. The Red Bull falling back behind. And it's currently Y2 well in the lead. It's 3 abreast. There's 2 3 abreast. There's 3 abreast, and there's a spin from the Mercedes, probably from Hennessy or Lewis, one of the two. And now it's going to be, and it's absolute mayhem into turn 2. There's yellow flags everywhere. Hennessy's down into P13. Cool Guy's down to P19, 20 even. What has happened into turn 2? As Y2 is 1.3 seconds clear on Hidlex, who spins and hits the wall. He's hit the wall. He's down to P, probably last. Alfie is now in second. Lossie's now in third. Bowman in fourth. Oompa in 5th, Curtis Jones 6th, Lewis 7th, Varova 8th, and Skustovas 9th. And oh my goodness, 3-second penalty already, yellow flags everywhere, spins everywhere. What is going on? And there's another spin, this time from Lewis. Both Mercedes have either spun off the track or just lost their rear and have gone off the track. It's one of the two. What is happening to this? And Alfie is also running away. The top three starting to spread out a little. And there's another spin from Bowman. Anyone I say is starting to spin left, right and centre. The amount of spins we're having, that's the Alfa Romeo. He's really coming back on the track really dangerously, in my opinion. Should be careful there. And going into the next corners, it's looking extremely close. The mid-pack is being extremely close together. Let's look at the position changes. Jesus Christ. Varova from 15th to 4th, and I think we're past the spinning. Guys. Thank gosh. Both Red Bulls went from 1-2 in Q2, which was stopped by Hennessy, so 2-3, to now 19th and 20th. That's not good. I mean, they pitted, probably that's why. Lewis is in P12 now, overtaking OJB. But let's go on board of Hennessy, who is a 2/10 behind Varova of the Williams. The Williams are now really performing well just because of these spinning opportunities. Because of these opportunities that everyone's spinning, it's starting to cause us something. And Hennessy with a beautiful send down the inside. And also Ollie and Skustovas were side by side. But Ollie chips away. Y2 sets the next fastest lap. But Road Knight on hards set an even quicker lap. And now DRS is enabled. There's going to be loads of overtakes down the long back straight. And Ollie, and there's contact, and there's spinning, but saving, and Lossie's there as well. It's pretty much 3 abreast going into the spiral. Down the straight now. Yes you are, Matt, yes you are. Anyway, into turn 6, and there's more contact. Ollie pushes Varova, Skustovas wide. And Lossie is just a front row seat, and there's another spin. And there's another spin. Skustovas is round. And now has dropped out, has gone from fighting for top 5 to gone out of the points. Spinning. That's the only thing I can describe it. Anyway, any fights up and down the order. Bowman, that's the closest one. Bowman and Hudson and Lewis all fight for 9th place, and maybe Hudson can catch up to Laziri. But there's another fight. Varova is catching up to Curtis Jones, and Lossie's catching up to Ollie, going into the final corner to start the 4th lap of this Grand Prix, and Hennessy takes the fastest lap. He may have gotten that grid place penalty, but he's made it up back into the podiums. Varova has found an opening as Curtis Jones goes wide. There's nearly contact between the two drivers going into the next couple of corners. There's nearly spinning, definitely. Pitting. Hidleck's pit. But Varova, because he spun and he had to pit because of damage infringements. But Lossie overtakes Ollie as they are currently extremely close together. Lewis side by side with Alfie Hudson. Laziri side by side with Bowman. This is great fighting. Hidleck sets the fastest lap of this Grand Prix. And there's another yellow flag. That's Marco. And what a move by Lewis. Can he get sticky around the outside? There's contact, and the Aston Martin goes wide, drops him down to out of the points. And the Verova and Curtis Jones fight is starting to calm down. Same with the Lossie and Ollie. So it's only the battle for points which is really opening up. And let's go on board here with Cool Guy, which is the three-way fight. And Cool Guy has found an opening against Hudson, side by side with the Alfa Romeo. He can even sneak past Lewis. Lewis blocks the wrong man, and is Cool Guy who makes his way into P9. Lewis keeps the inside, tries to go back into his place, but there's contact, and Lewis hits the wall and is round at the hairpin and has dropped to 13th. Ollie makes his way into the spiral. Verova extremely close to Curtis Jones. He tries to find an opening. He cannot overtake Curtis Jones for P4, and is currently staying in P5. And as his teammate got spun earlier, he's P15. So it's currently only 10 points for Williams today. And now Lewis and Mormonic, who is round at turn 6, who rejoins the circuit. The AlphaTauri overtakes him. Can the Lithuanian Williams, well, not like as in Williams is Lithuanian, the Lithuanian driver in Williams, can he overtake Mormonic into the final corner of the S, and then into the very sharp left, and then into an even sharper left, another left, and Gustavas loses his rear. Mormonic is starting to run away and catch up to the Portuguese AlphaTauri of Ariel Glass, going into Anting. And now Ollie is also gaining time on Lassie going into the hairpin, and Verova is still keeping his pace and gap. Hennessy, side by side with Knight, pushes him out off the track. Knight switches to the left, switches to the right. He cannot make the move into the first corners. And if we go further back the grid, Mormonic side by side with Orieglas speeds through, but goes wide. Trying to watch all the fights, I'm looking at the gaps. Marco and Gustavas down the inside on Orieglas. Can he make the move count? Yes, he can. Into P14 he goes. Rover's gone up 10 places, really good for him. Let's change it to maybe, let's see, tyres. So no one is on the softs. No one was on the softs at the start, which I also saw that. But yeah, I don't really like that. And there's a spin again, and it's Alfie Hudson round at the exit of the S's, and there's Mormonic right there. Right there, and has nearly rammed in the rear of the Alfa Romeo. And Marco is going to make the move on his teammate down the inside into the long right-hander. Can Orieglas find a way to come back? And there's a spin from the McLaren, and that's OJB round at the right-hander. This has become a spin fest. And Alfie Hudson has dropped 2 positions in the space of 1 second, I think. And it's nearly 3 abreast. Is it 3 abreast? It's not. Mormonic stays ahead in P12. Gustavas is trying to hold off Alfie Hudson, who's going to try and find a move sooner or later. They're still fighting, but there's nothing going on. Lewis is catching up to the Aston Martin. Lasery sends it down the inside. There's contact between the 2 drivers. Lasery is forced wide into turn 6, and that's Verova round. at the entry of the second S, and that's only 2 points for Williams now. And now it's looking really dangerous, and it's going to be another good old fight for 9th place. And Verova goes wide. Verova goes wide and drops down to P10. And Gustavus overtakes Mormonic with this huge fight for P12. And who is going to get anything out of it? Because it's not anything for points. It's just good for entertainment. Anyway, into the long S, and he's going to power it. They're going to power it down the straight. Loads of drivers are going to have DRS. And Gustavus is just going to be a sitting duck. Just going to be a cow on the pavement. Cow in the middle of the road. But anyway, Gustavus keeps his cool, but spins, loses his rear, and is down to P15. Marco is about to make a move on Alfie Hudson. Alfie Hudson goes wide at the exit of the final corner, and right now we're still on lap 8, and you never know, they could be lapping soon. Let's look at the leader gaps, and it's looking really close between these drivers. It's looking not that close to the leader. Doug Love is nearly a minute behind Y2. To anyone who watches, doesn't watch Formula 1, that may sound like pretty quick, but Formula 1 wise, that is far. And Marco pulls to the right, cannot make the move. Pulls to the left, can make the move around the outside into the second S. He's going to also have the inside line, and he's going to get ahead of the Alfa Romeo. And there's Gustavus back in the action. Alfie Hudson re-overtakes Marco. Marco re-overtakes Alfie Hudson. Alfie Hudson is about to re-overtake Marco again. Gustavus is also getting into the mix, going through the chicane, going into the long right-hander. What is there in? And they're side by side. Gustavus is now ahead of Alfie Hudson, but Alfie Hudson is keeping with him. Let's go on board with Alfie Hudson in the Alfa Romeo. OJB and Aurelius also fighting behind. But now Marco's going to get swallowed. Gustavus up into P13. And oh my goodness. Isn't it? It's pretty much 3 abreast, not anymore. Going to the final corner now. It's looking real tight, and now going into the final corner, there's more fighting behind. This grid is fighting everywhere, left, right, centre, and now it's starting to calm down a little, and it's slowly falling apart. The fights are slowly drifting away, and everyone's going to be in their own part of the circuit. We've only had 1 penalty in 9 laps, which is pretty shocking to say the less. But definitely people are definitely on their loads of people are probably on their last warning. So starting to calm down, but all the way down in 17th and 18th, Oompa is going to try and overtake Regulas. And there's more fighting back in the fight for P12. We're back at it again, and Mormonic has dropped down to P13. Alfie Hudson behind. And they keep going and going. Marco's going to be, again, a sitting duck for these drivers. And Oompa's overtaken Aurelius in the distance. And Mormonic goes down the inside on Marco. Can he make the move? Dom is trying to sneak back up into P12, and then into the final corner. I think there was contact. Loads of 2 drivers going wide. Mormonic has got given a 3-second penalty by the race control due to exceeding track limits and corner cutting. But he will still fight and fight, making their way into turn 2, making their way into turn 3 and 4. It is still all to play for P12 here. Just more Monarchs in the way with a 3-second penalty. And OJB has joined the mix. It's going to be an amazing fight. And Upa is also gaining pace. As if also Regulus keeps his pace, he's also going to catch up. It's going to be a big fight for P12. Although no one's going to get any points out of it, it's going to be extremely entertaining to watch, especially from the back. Literally, look how close this group of drivers are. And Bowman has retired. And it's caused a safety car. Everyone will be back together, and there's Bowman round at the final, at the exit of the chicane, the entry of the left, and probably a spin. And now there's a great chance to pit Hennessy. Probably gonna get. Is he gonna get outbeaten by Y2? He won't be. Hennessy is ahead of Y2. And Curtis Jones zoomed past into P1. His AI zooms past. And I don't think he can rejoin as a driver. So his AI is probably going to have to drive this whole race with... Let's see what the AI has been set to. Setting... Oh, he's rejoined. But let's see what the AI is. 65. This 65 rated AI is going to lead the way for a safety car restart. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's until Curtis Jones actually comes back, and now it's going to take a long time for everyone to catch up, get to the pack and that's the first crash we've had this race. I'm surprised it took that long though. And we're about to have another spin fest. This is going to go great. It's going to go really, really great. This is going to be another spin fest. Oh, God. We already have 794,474 spins. Don't need any more. So we have to just go through another... Okay. To małe, pragniesz me bimbały. No co ty, to inne chamaty. Safety car is in this lap, and Hennessy will be leading the way for these drivers. So when is Hennessy gonna go? And Hennessy goes now, and we're back underway for racing, and Y2 once again with a great start, but Hennessy gets one better going into turn 1. He's going to cover the man in P2, and that's a spin already, and that's Oompa round at turn 1. And as expected, as I said, it will be a spin fest, and what happened? A spin fest. But anyway, down into the next corner. And then now they're going to approach the S, and doesn't look like there's going to be any spins. Now let's look further down the grid. There's a fight for P9. Oh my goodness! Gustavus went spinning absolutely shockingly. Jesus Christ, what happened there? I just went on lazy and then bang! Gustavus just went spinning. What on earth happened there? I am surprised. Wow. OJB gonna pull to the right on Verova. He's gonna try and send it down this side. Is he gonna send it into the hairpin? Down the side he will go, and he's ahead. Verova's still there though. But never mind. Alfie Road Knight goes wide, and then Y2 is now starting to go away again, get away from Alfie Road Knight. And then Oompa now dives into the pits and has actually retired from the session. He has retired in the pit lane. He has had enough. Enough means enough. And with 14 laps to go, anything can still happen, and it could be costly for anybody. Hennessy in a lead by a second could always be closed down. And Mormonic overtakes Hidlex. He's been really struggling since that spin at the start of the race. Maybe he can bounce back, but I don't think so. Going now into the right-hander, and it's not looking great. Well, Hidlex, can he even get points? And Alfie Ronite is side by side with a Y2. Alfie's gonna have the inside line. He's gonna be ahead. Lewis behind, trying to overtake Cool Guy. Can he get the move? No, he can't. Going now into the final corner, and there's contact, and Cool Guy is round, and DRS is back enabled. But we caught that in 4K. Cool Guy has been spun round. Not good, I tell you. Look at dirty driving there. That's some dangerous driving going on from Lewis. Monomonic has been overtaken by Cool Guy. Can he overtake Hidlex? Does he have the qualities to overtake this Red Bull, who was fighting for first place in qualifying, lap in, lap out in qualifying? Probably not, to be honest. Going into the S, it's not looking good. Hidlex is catching up to Lazidi. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm very sorry. Going down the straight, he's going to go into the right-hander. And what's going to happen? And the Hidlex is going to pull to the right. Oh, never mind. Lazidi just opened the space for him. Hidlex is going to send it down the inside. There's almost contact between the two drivers. There is a bang of wheels. But they're side by side. He loses his rear. Cool Guy sneaks through into P10. And Cool Guy's about to make the move on Laziri as well. There's a yellow flag. And that's a spin, or Gustavas just going slowly. Hidlex pulls to the left, he can't do it. Down the inside on the right. And he gets his way up into P10. Pushes him a little wide, but still is up into P10. Anyway, and again the pack starting to split up into small little groups, like in the Tour de France. There's like different groups, like the peloton and that. But down the straight, it's all they can do. They try everything they can to at least get a good result after loads of spins. And it's side by side. Cool Guy is going to try and go around the outside of Verova. Can he make it count? He's been forced wide, and Hidlex has sneaked past. Can he go around the outside into the final corner? Yes, he can. And Cool Guy once again goes past Verova. Oh, Marco and Lazy are fighting for P11 here. It's not going to change anything. And there's a yellow flag again. That's Gustavas. And I think that's over. I think it's all over for Gustavas. Down the straight, Marco is trying to get away from Lazy, but he can't because he's got DRS. Pulls to the left. He's going to try and go around the outside. Hennessy sets the fast lap in P1. And there's a yellow flag again. It's the same driver as Gustavas. And it's just extremely hot rears, definitely. Into the next couple of corners, and Gustavas is around again. Yeah, he's definitely got extremely hot rears. I don't think you should go on the accelerator too early. I'd suggest starting slow. And now here comes Hennessy. He's currently en route to be a Mercedes 1-2 here. And is it actually going to happen? Maybe. You never know. But it's looking like it will be. Anyway, down the straight, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2. It's again Gustavas. It's just an unlucky race for him. Anyway, and there's a yellow flag again. Now it's Mormonik round at the exit of the right-hander. And what's happening further down the grid? Maybe Marco, can he keep the pace and overtake Verova? Can Alfie put a stop to the Mercedes 1-2? You never know, to be honest. You never know until you find out. Yeah, let's put it that way. And round, now it's going to go down in the straight, and Gustavas is just, I just feel bad for him, man. He was doing so well, and now he just does one spin, and it's, I feel bad for him, man. I feel for him, actually. I've done that so many times before. And Curtis Jones is trying to keep the pace to Marco and Verova as well. So it's the fight for points here on lap 20 out of 28. And can it actually maybe even happen? And it's still Gustavas. He's trying to reach the pits. He's retired in the pit. He's retired. And there's a yellow flag. Cool guy is side by side with Ollie. It's 3 abreast going into the hairpin. Surely a spin's going to happen. And Red Bull. Oh, the Red Bull of Hidlex nearly spins Lassie round. Lassie keeps his rear though. And let's go back to the fight for points. Marco is up into P10. And Hidlex is up into P8. And Verova is going to try and go around the outside of Marco for P10. And now this fight actually means something, because you can actually get a point for your team. And don't forget that AlphaTauri really won this point. Williams really won this point. I mean, McLaren, they can have an additional point as OJB is currently P5. But it's still all to play for, and points are to be won. It's currently looking obvious that Hennessy's going to win, but he can spin. Lewis is spun though, and it's not going to be a 1-2 for the... Okay, Lewis. I understand you're angry, but you didn't need to crash into the wall and give you more damage. Anyway, P9. So now it's the battle for P9. So now 2 drivers are going to get points out of this, and now that one unlucky driver, and that's Lewis out. He's crashed, probably on purpose, debatably on purpose, in my opinion. And Laziri's also spun round and he's down into P15. And it's looking really obvious who's going to win now. And again, the groups are again starting to split up. There's nothing starting. There's no fight starting to spark. There's only 2 I can see. There was fights all over. Now there's only 2 I can see. And that's Hidlex against Ollie, and then Curtis against Marco. And there's another yellow flag, and that's Lazuri again. He's starting to have the same issue as Gustavus did, and it's not looking good. And oh, I think there was contact there. Curtis Jones lags, starting to lag a real bunch. Oh my goodness. Curtis Jones is gonna try, and he's starting to ghost through the Portuguese driver. So the internet's starting to get to him. And is Lazuri gonna retire in the pits? Does not look like it. No, or is he just pitting? He spun in the pit lane himself. So yeah. Anyway, Curtis Jones is lagged out. Oh no! Ollie is spun round as well! Well, something's just happened to Ollie, I don't know, he's definitely spun round. But Curtis Jones has left the session! Ollie has left the session, that's even worse! Laziri is finally in the pits. He finally snuck his way in. And he's retired from the session. Lap 23 out of 28 is, okay, it's pretty obvious who's going to win. But there's a fight for P2 starting to brew. And it's Alfie against Y2, but Y2 loses his rear. He loses his rear again ever so slightly. And Varova overtakes Curtis Jones. I mean, obviously it's the AI. And now the AlphaTauris actually have a shot of getting a double point finish. 8th and 10th. I mean, yes, it's 8th and 10th, but still. And it's still, points are still all to play for, man. The AI have been real sloppy because of that. And Cool Guy, 6/10, 5/10 now. The gap is closing on OJB. It's going to be the fight for P4. Who's going to get that honourable mention to the podium? Into the final corners. I don't know, he's going to go down the back straight. DRS enabled for Cool Guy. He's going to have DRS as well. He's already gaining speed without DRS. Now he actually has DRS. Pulls to the right. He's going to circle past him into P4. And there's Hidlex short, not that far behind. And there's contact. OJB hits the rear of the Ferrari, and that's caught Hidlex right up. Let's look at the tyres. I'm sure they're not looking too great now. 12, 13 laps basically. Let's look at the position changes. OJB's the driver of the day. The game's going to give driver of the day to OJB. And making their way into the S, the spiral S, like a very, I don't know how to explain, like a very close S, like a very small S. Like when you're writing, you write that like really weird S, which is like very small. But Y2 is gaining on Alfie Road Knight. This is going to be the proper fight for a podium. Second place is all to grab between these two drivers. They make their way down this small straight, which used to have DRS. I'm pretty sure they had DRS, but going into the left and going into the right-hander. Can he overtake the Alpine? Y2 has lost his rear and has spun. He hits the wall. Does he have any damage? I believe so. And there's Cool Guy approaching right behind. He swooped in at the task, and it does look like, and it is Y2 with a broken end plate. And Cool Guy is now gaining time on Y2 rapidly, and now this is the proper fight for the podium here. This is for actually get on the podium. Y2 goes wide. That's another warning I think the game is giving him. And Cool Guy has got DRS. He's going to pull to the left. ERS is horrible. Savory, and Y2 has spun again. This time, and it's more severe. He's dropped to 6th. He's probably lost his whole front wing now. No, he's still got the same amount of damage that he had earlier when he spun earlier. So now it's down to Hidlex and Cool Guy to fight for the podium here. On lap 25 out of 28, it's obvious who's going to win. It's obviously Hennessy. 8 seconds clear on Alfie Road 9. And Hidlex is actually gaining on Cool Guy. Who's going to get the podium? This is starting people. There's definitely the AI fans in this game is probably hanging on to their seats saying who's going to get the podium. And now going into the next and going back into the right-hander. Now it's infamous for the spinner Y2. And it's looking like it's going to be a podium for Cool Guy, but I don't know. And it's a 3-second penalty for Lussie. A 3-second penalty for Lussie, and now Hidlex is right there. Hidlex is literally right up to Cool Guy. It's about to be the greatest fight for P3 you will see. Hidlex, can he do something? Makes his way into the spiral, and Hidlex has got the inside line, but then he has the outside. He's going to try and switch back. Can he do it? Can he perform the switch back? He cannot. He stays behind Cool Guy and has to stick behind and try more different ways to get his podium. And R11 is going to overtake his the next AI and is in the points for AlphaTauri, 8th and 10th. It was a matter of time this was going to happen. And there's also going to be a fight for points. Pardon me. And Hidlex is about to overtake Cool Guy. I mean, not about, but he's going to. He's definitely going to try and make a move. Going now into the kind of like a chicane, and then into the right-hander, and it's a yellow flag again. It's the Alfa Romeo of Y2 again. Is he going to fall out the points even? You never know. There's a big fight starting to happen for P10 as you can look at the gaps. But currently Hidlex has got the speed, pulls to the left, around the outside. There's contact between the two drivers, but around the left, and Hidlex is ahead of Cool Guy. On lap 27 out of 28, is starting to go down to the wire, and there's a yellow flag again, and it's Cool Guy. Cool Guy has spun, and that's OJB in P4, and I think we've got the podium sewed in. It's now the battle for points. Y2 in the fight for P8, and there's just a huge pack for P10. Alfie Hudson v Oreglas. Alfa Romeo versus AlphaTauri. Who will get the two drivers off to get points? It will be AlphaTauri or Alfa Romeo. The battle of the Alphas. Alfie Hudson is ahead of Oreglas going into turn 1, and there's Ollie and Curtis Jones shortly behind, and I believe Y2 has gone into the pit lane, and Hennessy is soon enough about to start the final lap of this Grand Prix. And I think it's obvious that he's going to win. He's probably not going to crash. I mean, if he does spin, he's not gonna lose P1. I mean, it is 11 seconds. There's no way. pretty much cruising to a win at this point in the Mercedes. And the fight is starting to break up, and I think we know who's getting P10. It will be Regulus. The cool guy is actually slowly starting to gain an OJB. Maybe we can have a last-minute fight for P4. But Hennessy will now start the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. And now he's on this stage one. Cool guy is now within DRS range, but can that DRS range close it down? Can he close that gap even more so he can actually properly overtake this driver? Hennessy is already made his way past turn 6. He's already in sector 2, and he's obviously going to. Okay, he's definitely winning the race. Okay, I'm just have to shout now. And Hidlex has actually caught up to Alfie Road Knight. We have a last minute fight for P2. We have a last minute fight for P4. This is all crucial points, and there is fights for them. On the final lap of this Grand Prix, I have actually had to commentate most of the time. Going now into the next couple of corners, down the straight, which used to have a DRS zone. I'm just going to point that out every time, because someone definitely here agrees with me. Going into the chicane, into the right-hander, and Hidlex is going to get DRS, and the cool guy went from a 2-3 seconds on lap 27 behind OJB to now on the verge of overtaking him. But Hidlex pulls to the right, he's ahead, and Hennessy, we have to quickly focus on him, because he has won the Chinese Grand Prix. Well done to ECOS_Hennessy, and OJB is spun, so we already know who gets P4. Hidlex around the final corner will get P2, Alfie Road Knight in P3, but it was extremely close. Cool guy is going to make his way around the final corner, and he's going to get P4 in the Ferrari. It's a very solid result for Ferrari, and that is, I believe, 22 points given to the Ferrari team, but he's actually dropped down. Marco has got some P5 because of the fact that of the penalty. Regulus actually gets 11th. Ollie, actually the AI overtook Regulus, or was it because of penalty? I'm not sure. Y2 gets second, and we have to just wait for Molmonic to cross the line. Give me a second, guys. There we go. So Hennessy has won, and I believe I'm doing interviews. Turns out that Monik was on the wets and I never noticed. We're about to do interviews. They'll join in a sec. Bum 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 bum. Hello? Hello.
Hello, can you
Hello.
hear me well?
Yep, yes I can.
Yeah.
We just wait for the others if they will join.
Are you starting it first, P1 or P3?
P1. I think
P1.
P3 is probably better. Right.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm
Just
doing. Yeah, I'll do.
point it out.
Just have to wait for Brad and.
Alright, I'll mute my mic for a bit, alright, and
Yeah,
just...
copy that. Incident. I'm just reading the chat. Incident. No. Oh, hello. Lovely whistling. I just wonder if the other person's joining. Yeah. Run. Oh, okay. So, I'll do um Alfie first, and then you, Brad. Okay. Right. So, Alfie, you can unmute your mic now.
Yeah, that's alright.
So, first of all, what do you think of that race, and do you think it could be better? Could you get a better result out of it, or not?
I think
Like
I could
Arsenal.
have got a better... Well, I hope I don't bottle it like Arsenal, but anyway, I thought I could have got a better result. Obviously, Hidlex, I could have got P2, but Hidlex was just a bit too quick. Obviously, mediums, they were wore out to the end of the race. I think I was on about 70% at the end, so it was pretty hard to defend, and he had some straight line speed, so I couldn't really do anything about it.
Yeah, and do you think that you've got the maximum performance out of the Alpine today, or do you think you can maybe could have got even more out of it.
I think I overperformed it on a serious note, to be
Definitely.
fair. But as I say, I could have got P2, but obviously Red Bull was so quick. There's not much I could do about it.
Yeah. Also, your teammate Ollie, he lagged out, but he still got P10. So, have you got anything to say about that?
Well, not really, apart from his poor qualifying, starting P13. But I saw him in the top five at one point, and then yeah, he just bottled it. So didn't really last long. Him being in the top five, I think he lasted about 5 seconds, something like that. So
Yeah, maybe he was fighting for P5 then.
yeah.
All right. So, thank you for your for your great racing, Alfie, and we'll see you next week.
All right then. Thanks for having me. It's
You're
been
welcome.
all right then. See you in a bit.
hmm So, the race winner now. So, to be honest, you dominated that whole race. Do you think you could have been, immediately starting from that question, do you think you could have immediately gone P1 the whole race? Do you think there was more pace you could even get, even though you were 11 seconds clear? Do you think you could get even more pace if you had the chance? Yeah, that was my next question. Lap one was a bit chaotic, and how did you feel when you got spun round? Yeah, and yeah, and also going back to qualifying, what happened between you and OJB? Yeah, because if for that, you probably would have dominated and probably got away from all the spinning if you started P2 as Y2 started P2 and got an amazing start. And obviously Y2 had that sad spin. Do you have anything to say to that? How about your teammate spinning? How about your teammate spinning? Oh, I mean, for this race though, teammate. So yeah, that's what 1-2. It was a 1-2. It was 1-2 for so many laps, and then Lewis spun. Yeah. Do you have any incidents to? Do you have any incidents that you really want to talk about right now? Okay. So congratulations for winning, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Have a good one. And obviously, you guys are watching the stream. Thank you very much for actually watching it. And hopefully, I'll obviously be here tomorrow for my actual race that I'm going to be racing myself. So, everyone, have a great evening. Have a great rest of your day, whatever you're going to have. And just dream well. Goodbye.